What's up guys, Imbeciles here, back to review some more Forgotten Realms spoilers. So today's the last day of standard cards, so there's not that many of them, but I've chosen the ones I like the most and compiled them. Asmodeus the Archfiend. He has a binding contract. If you withdraw a card, exile the top of your library face down instead, and then you can pay 3 black mana to draw 7 cards. And then you can pay 1 black mana to return all cards exiled with Asmodeus the Archfiend to their owner's hand, and you lose that much life. So this card is abysmal against mono red. If you're on turn 6, you're probably going to be pretty low. So not only are you not drawing cards because of the binding contract, but if you do, you lose life. So that just annihilates him in that matchup. But in the control matchup, this is insane. 4 mana, draw 7, lose 7 is so worth it. Especially if it's not pressuring your life total. You will get all the cards you need. I'd say you could activate this like twice. So the 2 cards I can really compare it to is Necropotence and Gristlebrand. I think both of these cards are better, especially Gristlebrand, because you don't need to spend any mana and it has lifelink so you can get the life back. And this is just cheaper. But that doesn't mean this card is bad, because as a commander, or in commander, this card is crazy. With the 40, especially with how much life you start with. 40 life is plenty of life to start drawing. And I'm assuming you just run all the black infinite combos in there and you just wait until you draw the right ones and win the game. I know that's kind of it's not the funnest way to play deck, but it could happen. So yeah. Also, just as a side, not as a commander, just as a person that can draw you cards, this is pretty strong too. 4 mana, as I said, for drawing 7 is insane. And you might play a deck where you want to lose life. I know there's a couple archetypes like that, so yeah. Alright, next card, Temple of the Dragon Queen. It is a land that as Temple of the Dragon Queen enters the battlefield, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. Temple of the Dragon Queen enters the battlefield tapped unless you reveal the dragon card or you control a dragon. As Temple of the Dragon enters the battlefield, choose a color. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. So I like this card. First of all, let's talk about the best position it's in, and that is Commander Dragons, or Ur-Dragon EDH decks. This guy. In this deck, this card is ridiculous, because they are 5 colors, so you can go any color and it comes in untapped. It's not as good as a command tower, but still crazy in the dragon deck. So yeah, they'll be included in all of them. But in standard, I don't know how dragons are going to be strong in standard. But if they do, this card's definitely going to be part of it. But even if you don't have a dragon in hand and you're 5 colors, it's not that bad of a land if it comes battlefield tapped. Maybe you don't even need it at that time and you play it conveniently. So yeah, I like this land. So white gets ramp, finally. So this is Loyal Warhound. He's a 2 mana 3/1 vigilance. And when Loyal Warhound enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for a basic plains card and put it into the battlefield tapped and shuffle your library. So if you're on the draw, this card is sweet. Let's say your opponent goes first. He goes turn 3, he plays his 3rd land. You're on 2 lands. You play the Loyal Warhound, you get an extra land, and then you play your land for turn. So you effectively a white mana rampant growth that comes to 3/1 vigilance. That seems insane. That seems really strong. And he's also okay laking. If you miss a couple land drops, and your opponent's ahead of you or the ramp, this comes in and thins your deck and gives you more mana. It's crazy. It's a great card. Right, Dragon's Fire is a 2 mana instant that has, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand or choose a dragon you control. Dragon's Fire deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If you reveal the dragon card or it shows a dragon as you cast a spell, Dragon's Fire deals damage equal to its power of that card or creature instead. So this card is pretty much as good as a Fire Prophecy, which is this card, because they get to put a card at the bottom and draw a card, but you can hit planeswalkers, and Fire Prophecy already sees a lot of play. But how this card becomes crazy is when you discard stuff like Tiamat. Oh, you don't discard, you reveal, sorry. You reveal stuff like Tiamat and Old Goblin to deal 7 damage, and that 7 damage one-shots Ugin. when they cast them, it takes out Winota, which a lot of decks have a problem with because they're running Frostbite. This can actually take out Winota. Elder Gargadoth. All the Planeswalkers, like Ashiok, that's a joke. She comes in, she pluses you 2 mana, destroy her. But yeah, so it's okay without the dragon, but then it becomes crazy when you add the dragon part. Will dragons be strong? There's a lot of hope for them in this D&D set. But yeah, we'll see. And obviously, auto include in every dragon deck. Alright, so Neverwinter Dryad is a 1-mana 1-1. You pay 2, you sacrifice Neverwinter Dryad, search your library for a basic forest card, put it on the battlefield tapped. My favorite archetype is Green Ramp, so I was really stoked for a new ramp piece that was on the power of like Sakura Tribe Elder or Rampant Grove, but instead we got this. It's not the worst. I really don't like that you gotta get a basic forest, not a forest or any land, which is really narrow, but there is the play where you play turn 1, you're against mono red, and then on turn 2, you keep this up, they attack with Robber of the Rich, you block sack, get a land. So you get an extra 2 life. There's the other play where you pay it on turn 3 with 3 mana, you put her down, chump block, and then before she dies, you sack. So she's kind of like a small fog effect on one creature, and then it gets you a land, which could be handy sometimes. Depends how much flying, trample, and evasion there is. But an also good inclusion is with Lurrus. I know Lurrus doesn't really play with green, but getting a free sack outlet, the thing that can chump block and sack itself every turn, giving an extra land, making you a castle thing, that could be cool. So that was my favorite cards of today. Too bad I started reviewing cards when it ended. But there's some pretty cool stuff today, and I'm stoked to start reviewing Commander stuff. So thank you so much for watching, and see you.